You know, sometimes you have things all scripted out, ready to go. You got this fresh video that you want to make, and then you start to make it and you kind of go, this is trash. Yeah, that happened. So I got a less trashy video to, is that right? I got a less trashy video to talk about right now. Let's get into it. All right, so before we even get rolling, I want to address my last two videos that I made because there were some issues with both of them that I felt like I just wanted to bring up and clear the air with it. First thing is the audio on probably the most important video that I've made to date, and that was the one where I selected the P1P from Bamboo Lab as my printer. And I completely botched the audio on that.
I can't hear you.
The music was too loud, and I'm super sorry for that. It was a rookie mistake, even though I'm far from a rookie. The other thing was the Bamboo Lab customer service interaction. That was a short video that I posted, and it was really a vent video, and I don't normally do those, but this was one of those situations where I felt like I needed to get off my chest because I felt like I was quickly becoming a statistic in terms of another person interacting with Bamboo Lab customer service and basically not getting any information back. Anyway, it's been resolved. Let's move on with the rest of the video, shall we? I wanted to talk about something that's important regardless of the type of business you're in, but especially if you're in the 3D printing business, and that is focusing your business, controlling your business, and then growing your business. Those are the three things that you need to be aware of no matter what, and really no matter what stage you're in, but certainly at the beginning of your journey, you need to be aware of all of these pillars and what each one means to the business. So let's go ahead and get started with the first one. Now, focus is a lot like what people tell you when you're starting your own YouTube channel. You niche down. You find something that you know well, and you basically create a channel around that because the YouTube algorithm recommends your content based on what it knows your content is. And if you just have a mishmash of content out there, it doesn't really know who you are, what you stand for. So general topics, usually, especially with new channels, don't play well. The same thing goes with the 3D printing business, and it's really any business, but we'll talk about the 3D printing business. And I've learned this through my own business ventures in the past. If you focus your business on a singular product or series of products that all are kind of interrelated, you are able to define who you are from the get-go and be really good at that particular product. Focusing on something that you're good at from the get-go means that your product's going to be good quality and people are going to trust you from the get-go, which we all know trust when you're first getting started is so important. And the more you focus down, the quicker you're going to be able to address any kind of design issues or any kind of issues that might lead to a negative customer experience. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is control. Now, we're not talking about mind control.
Doc? Don't say a word.
So what I'm talking about is controlling what's inside your house, your business. Controlling costs when you're super small, when you're just getting started, is so incredibly important and so hard to do because you've got all these costs that you didn't factor in necessarily at the beginning. 3D printing doesn't cost a lot. Of course, you got the printer to buy and you got the filament to buy, but this thing, editing Jeremy here, I just realized that I hadn't properly introduced what this thing is. I'll put a link up top here and then down in the description. Take a look. Enjoy. It's probably 25 to 35 cents raw cost for the materials. Now, my time to make this and the time it took to print it, that has value to it. That has worth to it as well. And that's where the majority of the value comes from, is the time it took to produce this. This isn't a mass-produced product. It's made individually for each and every customer. I know what my fixed costs are for this, more or less, because the bamboo slicer tells me the cost based on the filament that I'm using. I'll have a discussion on filaments. Originally, this was going to be a video about filaments and talking about filaments, but I really thought that that should be reserved for a later discussion. So controlling your costs also means other things too. How many services do you subscribe to? What is your cost for doing business on Etsy versus doing business on Shopify? Understanding those costs. And I'm saying on a per transaction basis, you've got that cost, plus you have the cost on a monthly ongoing basis for something like Shopify. After you get through the initial 3 months free, which is what they've got going now, what's it going to cost you month to month after that? You have to cover those costs. That has to be embedded in each and every product that you sell. Obviously, you don't want to lose money by having a web store. That's silly. Why would anybody do that? So controlling your costs that way. Also, when you're getting started, things like packaging costs have to be factored in. There's only so much space that I have to work with around this microphone in terms of making a logo for somebody. And it's roughly about 3.5 inches, somewhere around 50 to 60 millimeters of area that I have to work with. So I know that my boxes are only going to be a certain size, and the amount of packing material that's needed for this part, no matter how fragile it is, and I try and design them to not be super fragile, but like the little way that the script in my signature here kind of goes off of the main part, that is fragile, and that could break if I hit it too hard or it drops to the floor or something like that. Then you've got your shipping costs and all those things that get into the actual cost of goods sold for your product. So you got your raw material costs, which are just one part of it, and then you've got everything else on top of that. Somewhere down the line is profit, but it is somewhere down the line. You have to figure all these other costs in. The pipers need to be paid before you get your cut. The other thing that you have to control is your desire to want to structure your business too soon, too much. When you are building a new business, a lot of us have this tendency to want to structure things like the bureaucracy wants us to structure things. We do this for tax purposes. We do this for regulatory purposes. So we're in compliance purposes. And I want to caution you to resist that urge for as long as possible so that you don't add an extra layer of your bureaucracy into your own business. I'm not saying to skirt the law, not at all. But if it's not required at that particular point in time for your business, and this is a very narrow window, this isn't something that's like 2 years into your business, and it's more about a revenue thing, but I would caution you about doing that too soon. And here's why. You started this business because you had a passion for making 3D printed thingies, whatever it is. For me, it's this. It's going to evolve into other products, I'm sure, if this ends up being a successful business for me. But I don't need to register, for instance, with the state unemployment office because there ain't any other employees except me. So there's no reason to go and register with the state and get my state unemployment insurance account number and deal with filing 0-hour paperwork every quarter because I don't have any employees. There's no reason for me to do that. But you know what? If I forget to file that form, I get fined, even if I have 0 hours. So why do that to yourself? Focus on why you started the business for as long as you can, because trust me, the bureaucracy, the paperwork, that's all going to come. And once it does come, you have a choice. You can choose to deal with it yourself. I would caution you not to deal with professionals, which means an additional cost that you're going to have to control. Don't saturate yourself with extra work because it's going to bring you down and it's going to take down your creativity and it's going to make you not want to do the business anymore. So that's kind of a sub-discussion under control. Control yourself. Control your desire to go and get signed up with all the state, local, provincial, whatever entities you have wherever you live. I'm not saying to skirt the law or even worse, break the law.
Nah, I got that some bitch, and I got him with his fly open.
What I'm saying is, make sure that whatever you're doing it for a reason. You're doing it with purpose. You're moving with intention, and you're not creating an extra layer of work for yourself. Because trust me, once your business gets going really quickly, it's going to be your number one focus. And the last thing you want to have to do is wake up in the morning and fill out a bunch of quarterly paperwork, for no reason other than the state told you to. Ask me how I know. Finally, it's growing. Now, growing can be done a bunch of different ways. Growth in your business, hopefully, just comes. If you design a good product or you sell a good catalog of products, growth will come. And if you're really good with your customers out of the gate, and again, this goes back to focus. Having focus and focusing on very specific products allows you to focus on your customers and their needs early on, and it makes you look like an attentive business person, which, of course, you are. But it's really easy to get sidetracked. See pillar 2, control and bureaucracy. So if you are able to grow your business little by little, even if it goes hockey stick up, you're in a place where you can manage that growth correctly. There are always growing pains when your business takes off. And hopefully you built a business that goes absolutely gangbusters, but you just don't know until you know. So rather than spend time trying to throw a bunch of money at marketing funds, think about other ways that you can spend your, I'm sure, limited budget. One way I've thought of is organic growth. That is talking to a few friends and saying, hey, I'm working on this new product and it's going to help you brand your show, whatever it is you're doing, your content with your brand right here on the microphone, the very thing that's in the shot all the time. How about if I make you one and you can give me some feedback on it? And if you like it, would you mind using it? And would you mind me maybe having a couple of photos that I can use in my marketing materials? So it's kind of a win-win for both of us. If you have very specific places where you can focus your efforts, focus them there, and that allows you to grow in a natural way. Customers see fake. They do. And if they see that you have a ton of money and you're just throwing it at Google Ads and it's up on Facebook and it's everywhere, they're going to know, because chances are they're in the exact same platforms that you're advertising on. We have to put in the grunt work to make things happen. And trust me, if you've built up a few business relationships or friendships with people that can help you push your brand a little bit, reach out to them. Chances are they're going to be willing to work with you. The best part about it too is that if they're really good with you, they will give you feedback. They'll tell you, this is super cool, or this feature is great about it, but this feature I don't like, or I love everything. I hope you sell millions of them. Once you've gotten that initial little launch taken care of, then really you're going to have a combination of both non-organic and organic growth as time goes on. You're going to have people that really love your brand and will talk about your brand no matter what. Just they like your brand. Think about how many people love Prusa printers, love them. And the most vocal supporters when I had my which printer should I get video were Prusa supporters. And I think Prusa is to thank for that, because they have put in the time and the effort to connect with their customer base, and that's served them well. And I'm, like I was saying in my video, I haven't written them off, not at all. I just wanted something, given the time frame of when the Core 1 was coming out. I thought, I can't wait for that. So I got to get something now. So to summarize, you've got these 3 pillars. Again, you're talking about focus, you're talking about control, and you're talking about growth. Those 3 pillars are going to propel your business forward. Am I an expert in this department? Nobody's an expert. Every time is different out of the gate. Every time. I can tell you from 30 years of experience starting businesses and being in the 3D industry that every time is different, because technology evolves so rapidly that things that you were good at and known to be an expert for just a few years ago, somebody else has moved in and said, hey, I'm the new de facto person that everybody should be looking at. So you can't, nothing is guaranteed, but you can set up yourself for success now, early on. As long as you're a business owner, these apply. And I got to give a huge shout out to the small business owners who are in the 3D printing business and are making a go of it, because, these guys all have their own personalities and they've all built names for themselves. I think it's cool. And I hope that more of us aspire to be that and not just focus on the 3D printing business and realize that 3D printing is a tool. It is not the sole reason for your business's existence. All right, we're going to wrap it at that. Comments down below. If you like this video, liked any of the content, please like it. And if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, would really appreciate a subscribe because that helps YouTube, gets more people out there. And I promise no more griping videos. I will get that out of my system. I'll go yell on a pillow or something like that. And no more crappy audio.
No more of that.
All right, until next time, remember, we are all 3D printers. Take care.